Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope that you people are well. Today I'm going to discuss with you a topic that is related to segmentation. Quite a number of people asked me that if we segment a market, how are we going to find out which segment to choose, which segment is appropriate? So there is a method, and in different books there are different criteria. I'm going to explain. I'll try to explain from two books if possible. The first one is the criteria for selecting a segment. I call it a 3M formula. There are three things that you have to keep in mind in order to find out if your segment is an appropriate segment. It is the first one. The first M is measurable, the second M is meaningful, and the third one is marketable. What do you mean by measurable? You're selecting a segment. You have done segmentation, and now you will select that segment which is measurable, which you can measure, which you can identify the customers, the characteristics of the customers, and the size of the market as well. If you don't know and if you cannot measure the size, you would not be able to serve that segment well. The second one is meaningful. What do you mean by meaningful? That it should generate enough income for your organization. The segment that you have selected, it should be a meaningful segment with regard to generating sufficient profit for your company. So if you have selected a segment which cannot generate profit, that segment may not be an appropriate segment to select. The last one is marketable. That you have selected a segment that you can reach, that you can approach, that you can serve. You have a very nice segment, but you cannot reach, or you cannot approach, then probably that is not the right segment to select. So the 3M formula include the three things, the three criteria that you have to keep in mind before you select a segment. The first one I'm repeating is measurable, then meaningful, and then marketable. Now there are some other books. For instance, in another book there are four things. The first one is called the segment that you're selecting, it should be actionable. A very interesting one. By actionable, it means that you should be able to satisfy the needs and wants of the customers in that segment. You should be able, being a company, to take some actions in order to satisfy the needs and wants of that particular segment. Now the next one is identifiable. Identifiable means that you, being a company, would be able to identify, to find out the customers in that particular segment that you are planning to serve. So there are many segments, and you have to find out, you have to identify the customers that are in a particular segment that you're planning to select. It is related to one of the M's, if you remember, one of the M's in the 3M formula, and that is measurable. So measurability and identifiable are somehow related. The other one is substantial. It is again related to the M1. It is called meaningful. Substantial means that the segment should successfully generate substantial profit for your company. So if you're selecting a segment from the segmentation, you have done a lot of segmentation, they have a lot of segments in front of you, so you select a segment which is substantial. For instance, it is able to generate enough profit for your company. And the last one is reachable. It is again related to the 3M that I told you, the marketable. Reachable means that you are able to reach, you are able to approach, you are able to successfully serve that particular segment. So that is what I wanted to discuss with you quickly. I hope that now you will be able to segment your market successfully, and then you will be able to select a segment from the bunch of segments and serve that segment more appropriately. With that, thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye.